everyone, Denise here from Sewlimitless, and in today's video we're going to talk about this dress I made that you actually really can't see, but we'll get to it. Let's get started. So let's get into this dress. By the way, my name is Denise and this is my channel for all things sewing and some fashion, sometimes styling. We'll see where things go, but anyway, today is all about this dress. Like I said, you really can't see it too well, but I have plenty of pictures, so you will see those. It is made from Vogue 9167. That's this pattern here. This one has been out for quite a while. 2016 is when this one was released. I made View E, which is this one here with the short sleeves. Now, this was my first time making this particular pattern. So I wanted something that was basically like a classic style that I could use for different events, whether it was going out to dinner or church or funeral or whatever the case. I used some fabric that I had in my stash already. It is, actually, no, that's a lie. I did not have this in my stash. I bought this at Joann's, but I bought the end of the bolt, so I did get an additional discount. But it is a black linen blend fabric, so it's washable. And you know, that's the first thing I do is wash and dry my fabric. But this pattern had all the different kinds of details that I wanted, but without being really complicated, or so I thought. I like that it has the pleats in the front, and it's very hard to tell either from the photo or from the line drawing. It's a little difficult to tell, but there's pleats in the front, almost like sort of like a box pleat, but the front pleats are actually, I had no problem with them whatsoever. Really easy to do. Now the back pleats, or there's one pleat in the center, I guess it's actually two in the center of the back, and for the life of me I could not figure out what the instructions were saying to do. So I took a break. I went online and I looked at pattern review. I looked at anybody who had a video of this pattern. Some people on pattern review did say that the back pleat was tricky, and I would say yes, it is. I honestly don't believe that I actually did it correctly, at least from what they said, because I really couldn't follow the directions. All I could do was make the pleat look good and have it even in the back, and so I went with that. I don't actually think that I did what the instructions say to do. I could not figure out what they were talking about or how they were saying to do it. And some people on pattern review did say that they had issues with the back pleat. That was the only problem that they had. There were some videos where they literally just skipped over it. All of a sudden the dress was done. I'm like, okay, that is not helpful to me. I'm trying to find information. But so the back pleat was the only part that I found to be confusing as far as the instructions are concerned. Now, one of the things that they do, and I think this is probably what threw me off, is the pattern piece for the pleat. They have already cut out the bulk. So I don't know if you can see this here, but it's got this gap. So this part right here is already cut out. So you cut out, you have your fabric here on that extension, and then you have the rest of the back, and then there's a gap there. I think I would have been better off, because just mentally not being used to seeing that. I'm used to, you put your pleats and then you cut away, you can cut away the bulk, the excess. This just threw me off. So I don't know if it was a visual thing or what, but whatever the case, I just found it a little confusing and hard to maneuver. Other than that, I had no problems. It's got I put an invisible zipper in it. It's partially lined, so the front bodice is lined. The skirt portion is not lined at all. So this is, with this being a linen blend, it is sort of see-through. So I just wore like a half slip under it. And there are pockets, inseam pockets on, on the sides here, which is awesome. Now, the other issue, and I always have this, and I did not think that I would have it in this, that I would have this problem with this pattern, is the V-neck was very deep. I mean, really deep. Much more so than what I had imagined it would be. So having completed that portion and then trying the dress on, I could kind of tell when I was making this. I did take pictures. That when I put it on the dress form, I thought, that V that split in the front, it's not even a V, it's just like a split neck. It looked very deep to me, and I thought, I didn't think it looked that deep on the model. It did not look that deep on any of the other, like the pattern reviews or anyone else that I saw who had made this dress. So what I ended up doing, because by the time when I had enough of the dress put together to go ahead and try it on, I did not like how deep the V was in the front, or how deep the split was in the front, because it was just too much cleavage for me. So what I did is I basically hand stitched, like a whip stitch, about almost 2 inches, but at least 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches closed, which works out fine because there's a zipper in the back, so you don't have to worry about pulling it over your head. So that wasn't a concern. So what I did in order to do that portion, I basically just laid the front bodice flat on the table and then just closed it so that it would lay flat and the two sides just kind of meet, and then just closed it. So that works. And you really can't tell. I mean, if anybody's gonna be staring at you at your split in the front of your dress, you need to slap them. So, whatever. But that worked out fine. But then for the next time, if I were to do this again, and this is a great dress, I love the way it fits. It's sort of like a fit and flare type of style, because I did make the skirt that flares out. On this view, for example, it's more of a straight skirt. This one that I made, it flares out, and that's the look that I wanted. I would go ahead and change the front pattern piece so that it was closed up, so I wouldn't have to go through and close the front neckline like I did with this one. I would change the pattern piece so that wouldn't be an issue. But that's for the next time. Now that I know that that's the case. But this is a great pattern. I'm not sure if it's still available. I know it is online. You can get it. I'm not sure if the website, like Simplicity website, has it. I will take a look. I believe it is available on eBay, Etsy, possibly Amazon as well. So I'll see if I can find that if you are interested, or if you have this pattern and haven't made it. It is such a nice pattern, either for something like this where you're making like a classic black dress, or if you want to do something floral and really pretty like this. I think it's great for all of that. So I'm really happy with the results, and I'm very glad that I went ahead and gave this pattern a try. Like I said, it was my first time making it, and it did not take a lot of time. I think, honestly, I spent more time trying to figure out that back pleat situation than almost as much time as it seems that it took to put the rest of the dress together, the whole front together, for sure. Because I had to stop and do research and try to figure it out, and still couldn't figure it out. So I just did what I normally do, is just make it work. So with that in mind, basically that is it for this video. If you have any questions or comments about the video, please leave them down below. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that as well, but I do appreciate your time. I thank you all for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.